What is going on, you guys? My name is Hugh. Welcome to the third part of the Dead Space suit remake. And in this video, we're going to be building probably the most iconic weapon you see with any Dead Space suit. The plasma cutter. Let's get started, shall we? Oh, by the way, before I start this video, there's a certain thing that I put on this and it just sounds like a rattle toy. Listen. So stupid.
So the first thing we're going to do is that we're going to print out the design in order to cut out all the pieces for the gun. This is from SKS Pros, which you can find down in the description below, and you can get this template for free. Unfortunately, it looks like my printer took a deuce on me, and it says I have no ink left. Yep, gonna have to hand draw it. So I took a couple pieces of paper and taped it onto my monitor screen and started drawing away. Now that we got the gun fully hand drawn, let's go ahead and cut out some of the main components like the wing and the body of the gun. Now that we got the main pieces cut out, let's go ahead and transfer it to some 10mm foam. Go ahead and trace these templates onto this, and then we'll go cut them out. I cut out 2 of these body pieces, so that way we get enough thickness for the gun itself. Using this little mini Dremel, I helped shave down some of the parts on the gun where they were really rough after I got done cutting it. So I want to make sure all the edges of it were nice and smooth. Now using some 2mm foam, I cut out the first little component that's going to go on the base of the gun. So I had to follow SKS's video in order to build this thing correctly. I'd also leave that in the description below in case you guys ever want to build this yourself. For these little smaller pieces on the side of the gun, I've used some 5mm foam. So far you should have something a little like this. With this technique, you're actually helping layering out the gun a lot more so you can see a lot more depth and a lot more paneling on this instead of just a flat foam gun. Same tactic for the grip part of the gun. I'm also going to use the 5mm foam as well. I also took the Dremel and just kind of beveled out around where the trigger grip is, so that way it kind of blends into the gun handle a little bit better. This way whenever you grip the gun, it's nice and comfortable and it doesn't feel like you're grabbing some sharp edge pieces of foam. I then added some extra little square pieces on the top, bottom, and front of the gun to help kind of elevate the wings we were about to put on. That way they're not just sitting on top of the other components we just put on, and they give it a little more of a 3D look. I went ahead and did some random cutting everywhere, give it a little bit of some scratches, some damage, some roughness, before I went on to the painting process of the gun. Down below where the trigger part is, that part was made out of a small cylindrical wood piece, and I had a little square piece of foam left over and I just stuck it on the end of it. So we're going to use these googly eyes to kind of represent some of the rivets on the gun. Going to use my favorite Deco Art silver chrome paint. I've actually decided to hand paint this thing because since the foam was black, it would help a lot with the weathering part of this gun. That the paint will just sink into the foam and leave a lot of black left over, giving it a little more of a dirtier look. This saves me a lot of time to doing a lot of the weathering just by hand, so I'm letting the foam do the work for me, just absorbing the silver paint. Then I'll use a little bit of some espresso brown for the trigger grip part of it. And of course, we're going to make that trigger red, baby. It has to stick out. Last but not least, we're going to take some cadmium yellow and paint the wings. And after okay, I'm done with that voice. After a long process of painting, you should have a little something like this.
And just like that, you got yourself a plasma cutter. This video was literally all over the place because I was kind of in a grind, in a groggy, really sleepy mode while I was building this thing. I started in the middle of the day, like 12, 1 o'clock, something like that, to build this thing. And then the day carried on so fast that I wasn't even paying attention to the time. So by the time I was done with this, no joke, I got this thing done at 5 in the morning. It's sad that I don't have any lights laying around, otherwise I would have put some LEDs in here. But I think that'll be something I'll do as like an update video, because I can be able to access this panel inside. That's why I didn't put any of this detailing on here, so that I could be able to cut this open and then slide the LEDs in and have like a button to the side or something like that. This was actually a really interesting process, and I'll leave a link in the description below of the gentleman who had this particular template, so you guys can go download it. And I kind of followed his video of how to build it, and it was really fun. Like it was fun, a little bit of stress, and I kind of love the googly eye. That's why this gun at the beginning of this video, like I said, it sounds like a rattle toy. For the most part, I thought this was kind of a fun process. It was either this, or I was gonna have to buy like a fully built one from somebody, and that was gonna get really expensive, because now I see why they're expensive. Is the process that goes into this was pretty complicated. Especially when you got different layers of foam to kind of help depth and platforming a little bit. I like that. I need to start utilizing that a little bit more. As a final announcement on this, this suit may not be done, but by the time I go out on vacation, next weekend, the 9th to the 11th of June, I'm actually going to be going to Spookala over in Ocala. And I don't think this suit is going to be done in time, unfortunately. I'm going to try to, but I'm going to grind really hard to see how far we can get. But if anything, I have a backup outfit to wear, or I'll just wear half the suit like this and the helmet or something like that. But that was the whole grind why I tried to get this thing done at 6 in the morning, so I was trying to get this suit done before that weekend. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but we will be doing a little special something for you guys, and I'm trying to plan out that we can help kind of demonstrate the suit on camera. But in anywho, if you guys like this video, be sure to give it a fat Dead Space like. You guys enjoy the rest of the week, and I'll see you, I'll see you goons later.